entrepreneurial book club where Stephanie never read the right book. And
Stephanie was terrible at this book club.
I really sucked at book club.
I did
Fabulous. What?
I just had a visual. I just had a
It was a
visual.
lot.
I had a visual.
Proud of it.
Hold on, let me turn it on.
Look at us halfway through the work week and still working. I'm still alive. I haven't had my wisdom teeth out yet. That'll be later on today. So if you're going to see me at trivia tonight, Cliff is going to be doing the most of the talking and I'm just going to be there like luggage. I've got some guests in the studio this morning that I've been really excited to talk to because they have moved into an East Falmouth campus. And it's so exciting to have this group of fabulousness with us on the Cape. In our studio this morning, we've got Vice President Gwen from Better Lives for Dogs. Also, we've got our Regional Development Director, Senior Philanthropic Exec. That's a title, Dawn.
Thanks.
It's a title. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
So where are you geographically, just so we're keeping up?
Absolutely. So we are, our headquarters are in Southern Oregon. But the reason we are so excited to be here today is that we have just recently opened a campus in Falmouth, Massachusetts.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you're wondering where on the Cape, it's right at the end of 151, right when you hop on the highway. And that's just the perfect spot for you. There's plenty of room for you to train the dogs. Dogs for Better Lives is such an incredible organization. And I had no idea you existed until I bumped into somebody at Dino's and they were like, this organization is amazing. They're actually doing an event here. You should get involved. And then I started reading more. And then we just connected and I was like, I'm in your life now. You're stuck with me.
We'll take you. We'll take you. Yeah,
So
that was Marie Bullimore, who is one of our regional advisory board members, who's been just a rock star with making this happen and connected.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah, she's amazing.
So Dawn, maybe you can talk about the overview, because since you're like the fundraiser for all of this, because I just want to let everybody know that you guys are 100% donor functioning. That's incredible.
We are. So for an organization of our size, and I've been in the nonprofit sector for 26 years, and so we're completely mission driven, and 100% of all our donor dollars go to program areas. So no philanthropic contribution goes to pay administrative salaries. So every dollar that's given. One of the other unique things about us is that Charity Navigator, one of the most renowned nonprofit organizations that rates nonprofits, we have received 4 stars, which is the highest rating a charity can receive.
Wow.
The 10th consecutive year. And less than 2% of all nonprofits in the country receive that rating.
Incredible. I know what it's like, especially in a economy that we have right now, to be able to fund these animals. $54,000, by the way, is what this costs to get.
Our dogs are all placed for free, by the way. Our clients pay $0,
which is incredible. So this is what it costs per animal to fill the need for people, correct? Right around there, to get the dogs ready to be a helper.
Yes, that is definitely the number that we've kind of, the fancy calculations, but this is where we land.
Everyone's different for sure.
Yeah, it's around 54,000 from, the cost can be a little different if it's a shelter dog versus a dog that we've bred, but yes, it's not a inexpensive endeavor for sure.
Rewind to that, Gwen, because you said a shelter dog that you're making a service dog. This is incredible. What a program.
So this is definitely one of the things that sets Dogs for Better Lives apart from the other service dog organizations that are out there. Service dog work is awesome, no matter who's doing it. It is a fantastic endeavor, and I encourage everyone listening to learn more about service dogs, because they're my favorite thing. But Dogs for Better Lives, or sometimes we say DBL, because that's just easier. DBL was founded using shelter dogs. And we have this really cool founding story where an animal trainer. He worked for Hollywood, and he trained a lot of animals for movies and such. But he actually trained the lion that you see at the beginning of the MGM movie, the lion that goes roar.
Wow.
So
Okay.
he founded originally what was called Dogs for the Deaf. And he was just fascinated. A woman had trained her own hearing dog in Minnesota, and he was fascinated with that concept. And so he wanted to start a nonprofit. And so he started Dogs for the Deaf, originally started help when the and so that's kind of our founding back in 1977. But that whole endeavor was using shelter dogs because he really felt like shelter dogs were more than just these discarded pets that were hanging out in a kennel.
Right.
So that has been our organization's founding and really the lifeblood of the organization for many, many years. The reality is when COVID hit and, those very adoptable dogs are going into pet homes, that became very, very hard for the organization to continue to find dogs that were really super suitable for this work. And so we did start a small breeding program, and that's very small and just in its infancy right now. But we've continued our shelter dog work, partnering with some of the larger dog shelters. So we're currently partnered with Operation Kindness in Carrollton, Texas. And that is just a great partnership where we're able to be there as the dogs are coming in at intake. And our trainer is there and kind of doing a quick evaluation on the dogs. And obviously, if the dogs have any kind of aggression or anything like that, we're not really going to be able to work.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, what would the assessment be? Good morning, Emily, Stephanie, Alex. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. We've got Dogs for Better Lives. Gwen Dudek, Don Duncan have joined us in the studio. And we're just talking about Dogs for Better Lives and their shelter program right now, Operation Kindness, which is out of Texas. So you've got to assess these dogs. Are you going to be able to, are you fit for duty?
Exactly. And so we don't care what that dog looks like, really. I mean, one of the unfortunate things is because we're giving these to folks who, maybe have a landlord or, we can't really use a bully breed. But otherwise, we don't really care if they, if they have pointy ears or floppy ears, or if they're little or they're big. We can work with that dog if it's got the right temperament. So what we're looking for in our evaluation is, is this dog kind of social? Is it people focused? Is it confident? Like if an umbrella opens or a loud noise happens, are they okay with that kind of thing? And so that initial evaluation kind of gives us a lot of information if this dog can continue. But the dog does stay in training for 6 months. The beauty of this partnership is that the dog doesn't live in a kennel, though. It's going to go to one of those fosters that Operation Kindness
gets the good snacks.
It's really good. And it gives us this beautiful picture of what the dog is like to live with. Because, in a lot of traditional assistance dog programs, and we have this with our purpose-bred dogs, they live in a kennel and then they train and they go back to a kennel. So with the shelter dogs, we don't have that. They're in a house. So we're learning, if the little cute dog can vertically leap onto the counter and get the chicken that you were thawing, like we're going to learn that. And by the way, some of them can do that.
It goes along with your mission, though, because you're training these dogs for individuals with disabilities, and this is regardless of demographic, geographic, socioeconomical status. It doesn't matter, and I feel like that's the way the dogs are too. So it's like kind of perfect.
Yes, absolutely. The dogs don't care. Just
can you do the job?
Right. Exactly.
That's just incredible. So you've got this, and you're, by the way, the first kind of organization that did this. Your foundation was for the deaf, correct? And that's where you were the first one to ever have service dogs, really, or set this space.
Right, for hearing impaired or deaf. Yep.
Yeah. And so now it's not just deaf, and now it's not just autism, but like that's what you're branching into, right? You're going into the autism area.
Autism is a fairly new program for us, so we love placing dogs for kids with autism. And there's a lot of research out there that shows that the dogs can really help with things like anxiety and just transitioning, which can always be it typically is hard for a kid with autism. So training the dogs to do things that almost provide deep pressure or even kind of redirect their attention. So sometimes the dogs will like lay on the kid or put their head on their lap or half their body on their lap, or like poke them, like nudge them. If, like the kid is maybe getting distracted or a little bit more concerned about their environment, they can redirect it.
It's just amazing to me what they can feel that we can't. And
Yes.
before they even know that they're feeling that way, it's incredible.
Yes.
Victoria, good morning, Rich. Donna from Magic Mirror. She says, we are going to be there. We'll talk about your event. We'll talk about your event.
Donna.
Mari says, how great is this? Victoria says, service animals play such a critical role in recovery and quality of life. It's great to give opportunity and purpose to dogs rather than being caged. So we're hearing this and very excited for it. Good morning, Kristen. Thanks for joining us. We've got Dogs for Better Lives. We've got Gwen Dudak and Dawn Duncan here joining us. And they're just talking about their organization at this point. We've talked about, some of the other things that dogs that they're getting from shelters, from other places. Now you've got a small training program that you've got for the autism, but you're placing dogs in schools as well.
That's right. So schools, hospitals, police departments, child advocacy centers. So all kinds of places where the dogs, so sort of those tasks that I described for a child with autism can also be helpful for like a child in crisis or, trying to get maybe the unfortunate thing of the world we live in is like forensic interviews can be horrible for a child. Obviously, the experience preceding, but then having to talk about that experience. And so having the dog there can really help facilitate getting that information, but getting the child through the process. So that's where our facility dog program is starting to really take off and grow. And love for having dogs in schools. We have dogs with school counselors and special education teachers. So that really helps keep that classroom rolling and motivate the kids.
We have a new one here in Mashpee and everybody is obsessed.
That's awesome.
It makes a big difference in there. Like it just changes your demeanor when you're in a space with a dog for whatever reason. Even if you don't like them, it changes your space.
Definitely.
There's one other category, Gwen, which having been a teacher is kind of my favorite, and that is the career change dog. There are dogs that make it maybe halfway through, and then they decide, I don't want to work. I want to be a pet, and so they actually have a skill set that makes them more adoptable. And some of our career change dogs have actually gone on to be, search and rescue dogs. There was one of our dogs that went to Turkey to help recover in the earthquake.
Cool.
Yeah, so even those that don't quite make certification still become more adoptable, fantastic pets, or find a purpose that still can be helpful.
Yeah, I was always wondering, like, not everybody's good for every job. You know what I mean? So, like, where's the job placement in the dog situation? Like, sorry, you are fired for this program. Sorry, I have to move you along.
Well, they decide. Is
there unemployment? Where do they go?
You owe us $54,000.
Excuse me, ma'am. There's a restitution program for you. Kristen says, as a crazy dog mom, I just love this. My favorite day is work when I get to work with dogs at the hospital. She's our favorite nurse. So absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Any space that you can find these service animals, and they're costly service animals and no cost to the person receiving them. So maybe, Dawn, you can talk about some of the fundraising efforts that you have. Because I know, like, this seems like, yes, we can use a dog in every space, but that seems like a lot of dogs.
A lot of dogs and a lot of expense that goes into that. I mean, they're living and breathing beings, and so there's the training that goes into that, the food, the housing. So we rely very heavily on grants and donors, and we have a very generous donor base that signs up to be a PAC member to give on a monthly basis.
Cute.
Right, the PAC member, right?
Perfect.
We have corporate sponsorships. We're growing our corporate base. We're also with a very visionary and entrepreneurial board and CEO that are expanding our efforts. East Falmouth and the New England area is a part of that.
We're really happy to have you in the neighborhood. I got to tell you, this just makes my heart so happy to
excited
know.
to be there, and our event is going to be a part of our debut.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Our welcome.
Drop in the chat how people can make their donations too before we leave, just in case wherever we're connecting right now, they can jump in because we're in like 12 different places.
Yes, and we're also, I'm actually charged with helping to expand our efforts and build our presence in the Southeast as well.
Excellent.
We are the land of the rescue dogs. Because the climate and socioeconomic. So we'll be looking into that area as well.
And it's not always dollars. Maybe you can talk about the culture of your volunteerism and the people that get involved with you, because without them, the organizations I absolutely know do not function without it.
Right. Well, there's one thing I would, in addition to volunteering, there's one thing I would like to say is that there, in terms of giving, there is a way to give that doesn't initially hurt, and that is through your estate and plan giving as well. Is to volunteer your time now, but you can also leave a portion of your estate to the organization, so that it doesn't sting at the moment.
You'll get it in the end.
Celebrate. That's right. Your children may be upset with us, but the dogs love you.
Listen, we're all gonna help. We gotta help in our own way.
Gwen, did you want to talk about puppy raising?
Sure.
On that happy note.
Life and death. Let's do it.
One of my friends always says, "I'll sleep when I'm dead," and so then I'm always like, I kind of heard that. I'll give when I'm dead,
Right.
but that's not really what we were saying.
This is a very informal interview here. You can say what it is.
Got to have fun on a Wednesday morning.
Absolutely.
So volunteer experiences, as we grow on the Cape, there's going to be on-campus things that we will need and recruit and really want to pull the community in for. Right now, our biggest need is volunteer puppy raisers. So with that small purpose bred program, we have puppies being born, although not regularly.
I'll definitely sign up.
We have the cutest puppies you'll ever see. Right now they're Labrador Retrievers, but there's some future that's going to have maybe a golden cross or a golden retriever in it. I personally ended up with one of the puppies quite by accident. But quite honestly, it's the best dog in the house, and not because I've put extra time in it. He's just the best. But our volunteer puppy raising program, the puppies leave their mother around 8 weeks of age, and we get them to the volunteer who offers to, crate train them and teach them house manners and house break them, take them to obedience classes, and then once they're ready, kind of start taking them out in public, showing them what it's like to go into Walmart or to lay still at a restaurant. And then when they're all beautifully trained and ready to go, you give them back. But the good news is that they'll spend 4 to 6 months in training with us, with our professional trainers, and then go on to placement with a person with a disability. Hopefully that all works out, and we connect the volunteer puppy raiser with whoever that individual is that gets the dog. So typically there's like a virtual phone call connection meeting that folks have. And then that friendship often continues into the future, so that
that's it. The only way you're going to get over losing your puppy is to take another one. So
and then there's that. If we can create a little bit of an addiction, that would be great.
I need another one.
Right?
Give me the puppies.
That's a perfect scenario. We get people addicted to raising puppies.
It's all about the puppy breath.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I can't. I have such cute aggression. I'll just squeeze everything. I can't help it.
And then another great program that we just started in Ohio, Gwen, is the Puppies in Prison program.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so we have Ross Correctional is a men's facility here in Southern Ohio, and they've had as many as 10 puppies at a time in their program, but they, the guys are doing an incredible job with the puppies. It's kind of their job while incarcerated. And so, and they get extra privileges within the institution by being a puppy raiser. Obviously, they have to be an honor inmate to even be in the program at all. And then they get extra privileges. So they just dedicate their entire day from when they get up to when they go to bed to, working with the puppies. And so when they come into training, dear goodness, they're so well trained.
Oh, of course they are. I mean, that is probably like the biggest joy of their day. Honestly, I mean, you can think what you want about it, but they're people and they need things. Yes. And I think that's so incredible that you're doing that. Good morning, Cindy. Thanks for joining us. Kara, thank you. These ladies do such amazing work, and we're so excited to have you in our community. Dawn and Gwen. Dawn was just talking to us about this new program. Gwen was talking to us about incarcerated dogs that are getting a new lease on life for not only their inmates, but they're really well-trained dogs.
24/7 attention.
Anything with the program, though, to make it better. I mean, all hands on deck with this. Not everybody has all of the time. Not everybody has all of the funds. And if you find a way to give, then do that. This is incredible. I'm just really pumped that you're here in the neighborhood. So let's talk about our fundraising event that is happening coming this Saturday.
Yes. So Saturday we are having what's called the tailgate. And, knowing that New England is the sports capital of, well, I don't want my New Yorkers to get mad at me.
You're right.
I just watched the Tom Brady roast, so I know all about the dynasty.
It was pretty funny.
Hilarious, and Kevin Hart is just a dream. But it kind of reinforces that the tailgate was the right way to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Thematically with this. So we're having what's called a tailgate. The capital TAIL for tail. And so it's a sports themed event at Dino's. Bless you, Dino, and Dan, the bar manager,
You're awesome.
For hosting us. It's going to be Saturday the 18th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And we are going to highlight that event with a national live stream taking place across the country called Bon Appetit, where 4 contestants will compete to create a dog treat, human grade. And you get to vote with your dollars for who makes the best treat.
I like that. That's smart.
Vote. So that'll be at 4. But during the party, we've got Tito's Handmade Vodka. We'll have a specialty pup tail bar for your sampling with the option to buy a full-size one and a limited edition souvenir cup. And then we've got a dog collar toss where you get to toss a collar, and if you ring a bottle of Turo's Vineyard wine, you get to keep the bottle. Thank you.
Oh, fancy. Turo, I love your bottles.
They're amazing. And thank you. And we've got a silent auction with lovely donated prizes from, we've got Zor and Berkshire East have donated zip line experiences. We've got cards from Daniel Webster Inn and Crocker Nurseries, and the Falmouth Country Club has come on board. We've got Sea Links has donated a gift card. We've got Crocker Nurseries. We've got Chow Bow Wow has donated a large gift basket. New Bedford Pottery is on board. And of course, Donna on the call. Thank you, Donna.
I know. Magic mirror photos to capture all of the moments.
Selfie booth. So you can take some photos.
Good morning, JT. So this event is going on. It starts at 2:00. We'll be at Dino's on 151. And that's going to roll until about 6:00, but we're going to have a live stream in there. And I love that you're just grabbing people from all over. Now, where are the people streaming in from? I saw California.
No, it's nationwide.
All over. Yeah.
So our 4 contestants that will be competing, we've got Tara from Dallas, Texas. We've got one of our board members, Dr. Josh Broadwater, will be in Charlotte, North Carolina. We've got Brie Bryson, who is in Southern California. And then we have got Dave Cottrell, who is in Southern Oregon.
Amazing.
And how I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we have got the MC and of all time. Forget Tom Brady. We got the GOAT. We got Stephanie.
Yeah, right. Watch out, everybody. It's going to be a perfect way to end my day. Give me a little Tito's and give me a microphone, and I'm good to go. So.
You know,
No,
and
it's
none
so
of this
awesome.
would really be possible without Dino, of course, but our regional advisory board, which is another way to get involved. Our Northeast Regional Advisory Board is the only regional advisory board we have at Dogs for Better Lives that actually is near a campus. So, you know, we've got Beth Sincata and Brianna Berry. We've got Marie Bullimore, who has just been a dynamo and making all of this happen. We've got Brian Buckley. We've got, you know, Lourdes Silva, and we've got Melissa Dorsky. So they have just been rock stars in pounding the pavement. And, you know, again, these are volunteers that just believe so deeply in the mission of what we do that they're willing to be a part of DBL history with this campus in their backyard.
Oh, and they're really good, mind you. I mean, I was interviewed. Before I got the job, I had to be vetted. I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. I've never been interviewed for free. No. For a free job. I'm like, this is great. No, I really believe in your work, and it's so wonderful to see how many volunteers really care about their work and the changes that you're making in everyday life for so many people nationwide. And to have you here on the Cape is just really cool. I'm like, oh, I know them.
We mentioned puppy raising, and you know, we mentioned the clients and how it comes full circle. Well, at the event, we will have 2 puppy raisers are coming with their puppies in their vests. And we will have clients there as well. So you will actually get to meet and see, you know, in real time, the circle of the impact that we have, from the puppy raisers to the clients. And so you'll get to see our mission, you know, in person.
Yeah, that's just amazing. Anything that you want to say before we leave this morning? Last minute thoughts, something we didn't cover, something you think is important?
Yeah, the only thing I realize now, as Don was talking about our clients, is that, you know, we're in this community, we're in the Falmouth community, and we would love nothing more than our dogs to be serving within the local community. So if you know someone who is deaf of heart or hard of hearing, someone who maybe could utilize a facility dog, or have a child with autism, please go to our website. It's very long, dogsforbetterlives.org, all squished together, but you'll get there. And the whole application process is available on our website. So, you know, we want to serve the communities that we're in as well. Proud to serve nationwide, but we really want to be impactful where we are. So.
Oh, for sure. And it's nice to have that resource. You know, a lot of the times you're faced with this and you have no idea where to go or where to turn to. So this is amazing that you're now here and willing to roll up your sleeves and get into the community. I know many people are going to be knocking on your door and wanting to be involved in some way, shape, or form.
Well, and if you'd like to help those individuals, you know, please show up at Dino's on Saturday and come support us. And if you're interested in sponsorship, we're still accepting sponsors. You can email me directly. That's Dawn, DAWN.D @dogsforbetterlives.org.
I'm going to type all of this into the chat too. And if you need any information in connecting with this organization or the incredible people that are involved, please get a hold of us. I'm going to run. Thank you so much for your time. And I'm really looking forward to working more with your organization. And I can't wait to see everyone out Saturday at Dino's. Starts at 2:00. You can roll in whenever you're good and ready to do so. Bring your bucks and get ready to see puppies.
And good luck with your surgery. Virtual hug, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.